Welcome to Roaming with Restless Women, real talk with wise, dynamic women leaders. I'm Julie Noonan, your host, CEO, and founder of Intuitive Wisdom Coaching, and I'm living my dream life. I live and work in my RV, coaching senior women leaders as they navigate corporate politics, family drama, and personal goals to live their own dream lives. These women are restless. They are never done seeking new opportunities, learning, and ways to create value in the world. If you'd like to apply to be a guest, stick around to the end of the show and I'll let you know how. So let's go. Hello and welcome back to Roaming with Restless Women. Today I have with me Rachel Minion. Rachel is a force to be reckoned with, a marketing rock star. I knew I was going to mess that up. Marketing rock star. Look behind her at her awesome guitars there. A relentless cancer warrior and a dynamic speaker who embodies resilience, raw honesty, and unapologetic truth. That right there is what attracted me to invite her to this podcast. With over 20 years of experience in the marketing industry, Rachel has honed her expertise to become a powerhouse of no-nonsense insights and actionable strategies that resonate deeply with her audience. Rachel's speaking style is direct, bold, and refreshingly real. She doesn't just skim the surface, she dives deep into the complexities of life and work, tackling the tough topics that others shy away from. Whether navigating the unpredictable career journey, confronting the life-altering reality of a cancer diagnosis, or breaking free from societal expectations to find and amplify her unique voice, Rachel brings real talk to the table. As a speaker, Rachel Minion is here to do more than just inspire. She's here to provoke thought, ignite passion, and challenge audiences to push beyond the superficial. Her talks are a powerful blend of authenticity, leadership, and courage, leaving listeners not just motivated, but equipped to face adversity head on and lead with unwavering passion. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful.
Oh, I am thrilled that you're here, and I can't wait to hear your story. So why don't you tell us a little bit about where you are currently in your career journey and where you've been?
Sure. So currently I am CEO and head rockstar of Rockstar Moon. It's a marketing agency built for B2B businesses. And, you know, we've built because we want to be able to empower, enable, and help grow and scale small businesses across the US. It's the backbone of our economy. We know if we can help the entrepreneur, that entrepreneur is going to help their family. It's going to help their community. Hey, we need all the little leagues to be able to have the t-shirts. We need the Girl Scouts to be able to thrive. We need all of those things. And that's why we do what we do.
That's
And it all,
amazing.
oh, thank you. It all started because, back in 2000s, I was working for my parents. We were printers. And in 2008, that recession hit. And all the government printing office contracts, they stopped. So our clients were printers. We were really reselling to them. And so it went from paying in 30 days to 60 to 90 to 120 to we closed. One of our biggest clients, Ritz Camera, went bankrupt. And it was a slow roll to the end and just pushing to stay open and scrape by. But in 2010, we had to close.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And I'm sure everyone else has kind of had a similar experience, but when you're working for your parents, employers, especially in the printing industry, don't think you know anything. So it didn't matter that I'd show up at 5 or 6 in the morning. It didn't matter that I worked till 7 at night. I knew how to run a press. I knew how to do production. I knew how to do estimating, invoicing, all those business things. Nope, could not get a job. It sucked. And I was pretty much homeless because I got rid of the house that I was renting because there's no income coming in. And I moved into what was supposed to be my weekend house at the beach for the summer, a 3-bedroom apartment with 8 people.
Oh my
There were 2
goodness. 8 people.
8 people.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It was a lot.
I bet. Yeah.
So now I'm trying to figure out what in the world do I do because nobody believes I have a skill set. They won't even give me the opportunity. So I'm sitting outside looking at the stars and the moon, hearing some rock music, and that's where Rockstar Moon came from. I created a marketing agency that would help grow my skill set and was always meant to be my side hustle.
Okay.
Never thought about it again, right? I brought on small businesses, I helped them grow. It was great. And finally scored that full-time job. So I'm doing my thing. I keep going. I'm progressing in my career. I keep changing. I finally found the gig of a lifetime, which if you see the guitars behind me, you know I'm madly in love with music, even though I can't play.
Yeah.
And I started working for Ticketmaster, and I was running a division of marketing for Ticketmaster. First year, we went to see 275 different artists. It was
Nice.
unbelievable. The benefits are great. The pay is good. The health benefits even better. And things are going okay. But I was spending every weekend between LA, San Francisco, and I was living in Chicago. And it was a lot. So what do you do with the side hustle? Do you keep
Right.
it? Do you not? How do you make that work? Especially as a woman, right? We are trying to save the world
Oh, every day.
every day.
We
So
feel it as
night
an obligation.
Yes. So nights and weekends that were normally going to be mine, no, let's do this as a side hustle. Let's make this happen. And then all of a sudden, I got the kick that I needed, the pandemic,
Oh, yeah. A
because
lot of us
no
got that kick.
events. Yeah. So no events, no Ticketmaster. So I was on a Zoom call with 80% of my team and we got furloughed. So that
Mhm.
afternoon, I called up all my clients and said, hey, you know the stuff we've been putting off because I've been too busy? I'm going full time this afternoon. Let's make this happen. And it was the scariest move I've ever made. It was terrifying, but it was
Yes.
the jump that I needed and that push that I needed because what do you have to lose at that point?
Right. Exactly.
So going from a handful of clients that I had for over a decade, and then now we've been able to grow and scale, and it's been 4 years. And in that 4 years, we've been able to make a huge impact for hundreds of businesses across this country.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And okay, and so tell me about how cancer comes into play here. I was
So
almost not going to ask you, but then it's right in your
absolutely.
public stuff. So tell me about that.
So 10 years ago, I had just quit one of my full times. I was just accepting another. We're all in that same realm. And I had gone to the go to an executive conference for Verizon, and things all of a sudden got weird and wonky. I thought I was pregnant. I could smell the coffee and it was like, oh, I could smell the bagels. And I was like, oh, and I'm a girl who will eat a bagel. There's no question. This
Okay,
is
okay.
all of a sudden my pants didn't fit. I'm not feeling good. And I was like, all right, well, what do I do? So
Ooh,
I leave the conference, I fly home from New York to Chicago. I am stuck in the longest, smelliest cab ever. And now I'm craving donuts. I don't eat donuts. I'm not a
oh,
girl who's had a donut in over a decade at this point and wouldn't know what I'd want if you asked me, but I am demanding my husband bring me donuts. And we just got married, so we were trying. So maybe this is it, right?
right,
So me and my Google MD go and we look up all my symptoms, and I'm like, I am definitely pregnant. There's no question.
right.
So a week and a half later, it turns out that nope, I finally go to the doctor. I'm not pregnant, but I have the highest white blood cell count that they've ever seen. Go to the hospital. Do not stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Just get there.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
was like, I got to, and I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to eat and I'd be there all day because this is Chicago on a
Yeah,
weekend. So you and I think I'm waiting for like 6 hours to be seen, right?
right.
So we stopped, got bagels on the way. I'm great. I go show the woman at the front desk what my test results are. They're not supposed to email it, but they do because they're this concerned.
Okay.
She said, okay, go to registration. I go to registration. I say my name. I don't even get to pull the card out of my purse, and they are wheeling me to the back. So, waiting a week and a half, apparently my appendix had burst,
Oh no.
and I just did nothing. So, you're like, oh, okay, what do I do? Like, don't you die if you don't get this taken care of? And they're like, no, that's the old thought. We need to get the infection down because we can't even operate on you right now. Okay. So 3 days in the hospital. Now, 6 weeks later, I finally get my surgery. I go in for the follow up. I say, do I need to bring anybody? They said, no. And so I just quit the job, just accepted the other one. I walk in, they're running so late. And the doctor says to me, so, ma'am, you have cancer. And I said, no, 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 no. I'm on candid camera and this isn't funny. And the
Right.
guy is like, I'll let you sit with this for a minute.
Ugh.
And like, what do you do? So
So
I
you
get
thought you
through
were
this.
going in for an appendix removal.
So I went in for the appendix removal, and then this is the follow up afterwards where they just say,
Okay.
hey,
Okay.
your wound has closed. It looks good. That's all they told me. It's a check the box so they make sure they're set. Not
Right.
we're going to change your whole life in a second.
Oh, gee whiz. Okay.
So I had been sitting there all afternoon because they kept pushing my appointment time back. And it was this big brick building, south side of Chicago. I text my husband and my parents, so I have cancer. And then my phone shuts off because, of course, the battery's going to die. What could be a better time for that to happen?
Oh my gosh. Did
So
they
I
know
drive.
where you were?
Everybody knew where I was, but how do you find me? Because now there's no location services. There's no way to get in touch with me. It's
Oh my
back in the
goodness
old days, right?
gracious. Yes. Oh my goodness.
It took
Okay.
2.5 hours to get home before I even made contact. No, I don't want to stop and buy a charger. Like, I don't even have a charger in my car. I'm not interested. I just need silence. I get home and then, we start planning what are next steps and what do we do and how do we do it and planning the next surgery and all of those things. And since cancer, there's a lot of things that I've learned that I don't know what else to do with this information other than we just keep sharing it and making sure
Mm-hmm.
people understand. But the minute that I heard my cancer diagnosis and I started sharing this, my friends, my colleagues, people that we've known for years had no idea what to do. So
Right.
instead of just sending me like, hey, I hear this gossip, or hey, this is what's happening in whatever, some stupid TV show, it is silence.
Oh,
And the things that you would expect, or, even just little hearts or emojis or something, nothing. And that from that, we built a nonprofit so that you can take actionable steps and go help cancer patients, even if it's something small, just so they know that they're supported.
oh my goodness. And what's the nonprofit name?
It's beyond basic needs, and we do chemo care kits to any cancer warrior in the US who is undergoing chemotherapy.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
You got to do something, right? To be able to change this world.
I'm telling you, one of my best friends is currently in her fifth round of chemo for
Oh,
lymphoma. And since the very beginning, there are three of us um, in her circle of friends, and we're talking friends from college, way back.
mhm.
Um, we text her pretty much every day,
And it
and
means the world, even if she
and
can't write
well,
back.
exactly. And we don't, it's not that that we think she needs us so much as we need to know she's okay. We
Mhm.
need to know, okay, do we need to get on a plane and fly to get to her? Does she need, what kind of support does she need? And just even it's very difficult at first to think about what can I say? You know,
Mhm.
I'm gonna grieve with you because I wish it wasn't you that was having to go through this,
And
you
the
know?
question, how are you, doesn't work anymore. And
No.
telling a story of, well, this person had that cancer and they ended up fine is irrelevant. So shut up.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
what do? We start talking about the Kardashians or a crappy person on TV, someone in a reality show, something that at least has a moment of levity.
Yes. And so when people what do you tell people um when they say, how can I help my friend who's going through it? What do you tell them that they could do that would actually not be detrimental?
I believe in sending dad jokes every
Oh,
day. A dad joke, a meme. Give me something that is off the wall and stupid where I don't have to think. Any humor where I don't have to think through it, or I don't have to follow a story, that's
mhm.
it. Because it gives me a pause, right?
Yeah.
Then the other thing is, if they're going through this, there's a lot of things that they're going to need supplement wise that they may not think about. So,
Mm,
for example, our nice comfy robe.
hmm.
How about really comfy socks? Something that is just going to be there and feel like a hug when they put it on and know that they've been cared about.
Yeah.
You also have the alternative of helping them get a house cleaner in, get dog walkers in, do meal trains, make sure that they have food in the house, even if they cannot eat,
Hmm.
because their family is going to be there. There's going to be people who are going to be checking in on them. And if those people don't have food and the caregivers don't have food, you're not supporting this person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I feel very good that I think we're doing a lot of those things actually.
Mhm. You're
So,
doing an amazing job. I'm so
well,
grateful
that she's an amazing woman. That's all I can say. So what kind of cancer did you have?
cancer of the appendix. Isn't that so weird?
Wow.
I
So it
am one in a
was?
million.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you don't hear about that very often.
No, and the crazy part is that I'm so lucky. My body saved my life. It burst, it encapsulated, and had that not happen, I would not be here. Or had the
Right.
opposite happen, which happens for most people who start with appendix cancer, is
Uh-huh.
that it grows into the colon, and by the time you know it's colon cancer, it's too late.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
35.
You were only 35.
I was only 35.
Wow. Wow, wow. So now you're a speaker.
Mhm.
Um, in addition to obviously running your company. So tell me a little bit about your journey to becoming a speaker.
Well, I got really mad. I got insanely mad.
Okay. I
Okay.
love it.
So after you go through cancer and you have the cancer identity, you are never the person you were before. You
Hmm.
are not the person now that they say no evidence of disease or remission or you're clear. You're not the cancer person anymore who only deals with doctors and cancer things. So now what are you?
Oh,
And crafting that identity is really hard. But there is a word that upsets me more than anything else, and it brought me to tears. I hate the word survivor. Let me tell you why.
okay.
We're all on the fight for our lives, and it feels discriminatory against all of those cancer warriors who have gone through the same battle and didn't make it. Like, I feel like we should be honored like Greek gods. We have gone through the fight of our lives. We are those warriors who have
Yes.
gone through things most people can only imagine. And it's a constant life or death. And now we're getting past that. So rather than saying survivorship or survivors or any of that, it's a warrior, because then we're all on the same equal footing as gods.
Absolutely. Terrific. I like that. I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay, so what do you, I know what you speak about. You sent me, a list of your topics, but tell me about your most favorite speech to give.
So I was in a kindergarten and it was just about snack time, my favorite time of the day. It was everything I ever dream of in life, right? You go to school for a minute, you get snack time, then we have a little bit more and you leave. So it was the perfect break. And there's one day they come in and they say, okay, we're leaving now for an assembly. I'm like, wait, I want my snack. Nope, go to the assembly. So we go next door to the cafeteria and there's a magician. A magician. No, this is not what I want. I want some snacks. I'm hungry. Everybody sit down. So now we're sitting on the cold, gross floor of the cafeteria. And the magician comes out and he gets to the end and he says, I'm going to teach you a lifelong lesson. Okay, great. and then can we leave? And
Yeah.
I am just this snarky when I'm a kid. So it isn't like this is quiet. The filter is loud. So the teacher moves me to the side and he says, okay, everybody stand up now. So we stand up and he says, I'm going to teach you something and you're all going to do this with me. And he's going to say, okay, we're going to say this word together and we're going to shake our fist in the air. Okay. So here we go. We're going to say nothing. Okay. Everybody do it again. Nothing. Now we're going to do it twice. And at the end, I'm going to say something and you guys are going to go crazy. You're going to do whatever you want and you're going to scream and you're going to yell and all of that. So here we go. Nothing, nothing, something. And the entire cafeteria erupts in fun and laughter and an energy that was not there any of the 45 minutes before this. And
Wow.
the lesson is you can always make something from nothing.
Oh, and that's your favorite speech.
That is my favorite.
Oh, I love that. I love
And
that.
then we got snacks.
And then you got snacks. You eventually got
snacks.
your reward. You just had to wait for it a little bit. I love that. Okay, so what's the most challenging thing about being a speaker and an entrepreneur and a cancer survivor?
How
Or
do you make
cancer warrior?
impact?
Sorry, cancer warrior.
See, I've already done it. It's how do you make meaningful impact? And it isn't just making meaningful impact in the world. How do you make it and help change the minds of everybody?
Yes.
So I wake up every single morning and say, okay, what can I do to make the biggest impact today? And whatever that is my top priority. It could be for my clients.
Beautiful.
It could be for my dogs, my husband, my friend down the road, whatever that is. That's what I work on first and then move to the rest of my day.
That's beautiful. I love that. All right. I end every podcast with 3 questions. The first one is I'll ask you to close your eyes and describe the picture that appears when I say wise woman. Open your eyes and describe what you saw.
Oh, you know, in my world of wise woman, I would go back to, let's go back years and years and years. Do you remember when Oprah was getting that talk show going?
Yes.
And just how fearless she was?
Yes.
And willing to talk about things that nobody wanted her to. And she did it. And back then, it was amazing to see not only her fearlessness, but her ability to ask a question and bring out conversation that we never thought we'd ever hear.
Yes.
And these were the days of Sally Jesse Raphael and Connie Chung and all the women, right? But it was the way that Oprah did it that you felt like she was your biggest cheerleader. So you could be going through a divorce. She could have a celebrity on. It could be a diet thing. It could be a whatever. But I think she brought us all together with that and made a community.
Right. In my mind, what she focused on was the intrinsic value of the personal experience. Mm-hmm. And everybody's experience is the same but different. Mm-hmm. Meaning we're all human. We all go through trials and tribulations in our lives. They're just all different. And how we react to them and support each other through them is really what makes us unique and special.
And she taught us how to experience the journey through their eyes.
Yes, absolutely. Perfect. I love it. All right. Second to last question. Where do you like to roam?
Oh,
you're a constant roamer. We already talked about that.
I'm a constant roamer. I hate to sit still. I like to move every year. I moved 23 times in 18 years. I like to be around the world, but I love Barcelona. There is something about a plaza that's built for red wine that just makes my heart happy. I even dragged my husband when I was turning 40. I dragged him to go run with the bulls in Pamplona. Yeah.
Did he really do that?
Oh,
Oh
he
my
said I was an
goodness.
idiot. He said I
Oh,
was an idiot. And I was like, look, I grew up reading Hemingway. I'm going to run with the bulls, whether you, big man, choose to go with me or not. And he's like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'll watch you from the balcony. And so the morning of, he is watching me get ready and he's like, oh, you're really doing this. Yes, yes, I am. We flew to Spain for this. And so we got dressed, we got in line, we ran with the bulls.
how was that?
Life changing.
Was it?
It was so neat because you pick which area you're going to be at in the course, and
Uh-huh.
then you start there. And next thing you know, the first firework goes off, which means the gates have opened.
Oh,
And if you ever thought you were like, this is that moment where there's no words, you're like, oh, I'm in this. There's no
yeah.
getting out of it. And then the second firework happens, and that means all the bulls have left the pen, and you are about to be swallowed up in a wave of people. And there's that fear and that anxiety, but Hemingway has written about this, so it's something I should do. What the heck am I thinking? All these horrible constant thoughts are going. I was like, but wait, I can do this. We can do this. We'll get through this. Died this week. It's fine. So we turn around, we start running as the wave of people swallow us up. And the next thing I know, I turn to the side and the bull is staring at me. I'm staring at the bull. And this
Oh,
is the most incredible moment of my life. And then in 3 seconds, they pass.
yeah.
And you can walk after that into the stadium. And that's where they bring out the little steers. And so people are wrestling with the little steers around. And I just pop over the side. My husband's watching these people and having a blast. But it was that moment of being face to face with like one of those big fears and a huge unknown that just, oh, it was amazing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I get little thrills like that. I love to zip line.
Oh,
I absolutely love it. And I hate heights. I'm terrified of heights. And, but I can tell you that has to be the most thrilling when I zip lined with this is funny, when I zip lined with my mother and my sister. My mother was in her 70s when we
oh,
took her zip lining. We had the biggest fun, I'm telling you. And when I got out there and I just let go of everything. I just
mhm.
trusted that that harness is going to hold on to me. And I screamed and yelled, and it was the most freeing, beautiful thing. I just loved, loved, loved it. But that's my little fear facing thing.
So where would you tell us all to go ziplining?
Well, my dream would be to zip line in Costa Rica through the tropical forest. Um, we zip lined in the mountains of North Carolina, so in the Smoky Mountains, and one of those is pretty high, I have to say. And it was from one peak to another. It was beautiful. I loved it. Okay, final question. Here we go. What makes you restless in a good way?
I think I was born restless. I don't think that there's a moment that I can sit down and just hang out. It is always a moment of how do we make change? How do we make fun? How do we take this to the next level and enable every single person around me to do it?
Love it. Well, I can tell you one thing. You have inspired me during our conversation today, and I'm sure you have inspired others, and you've given us a lot to think about and a lot to do, especially if we have friends who are going through big changes. Be there for them. Don't disappear, right? That's the main message. So, Rachel, how can people get a hold of you?
You can visit my website, rachelminion.com, and you can find all the businesses, the nonprofit from there.
Perfect. And that's where your nonprofit, you can find that too. Okay.
Yep, you can find info on Beyond Basic Needs on there. You can find information on Rockstar Moon, all of it. And we have resources as well. So if you've gone through that cancer diagnosis and now you have no evidence of disease and you don't know what's next, I have a resource for you on the site.
That's beautiful. Okay. I will put this in the show notes. And thank you so much for being here with us. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for your words of wisdom.
Thank you so much.
Julie Noonan here. Thank you so much for listening to Roaming with Restless Women. If you're a successful senior woman leader who would like to be on this program, please visit podcast.intuitivewisdomcoach.com. If you enjoyed this interview, please share this episode on social media and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and they mean a lot to me, my team, and most importantly, my restless guests. As a special gift to you, our listeners, I offer a free one-on-one 15-minute breakthrough session. Bring a problem and experience how coaching works to see if it could be of value to you. Sign up for an available time on my website, intuitivewisdomcoach.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.